Imagine this. A company in Shenzhen builds a smartphone. For years, that phone crossed the Pacific, landed in Los Angeles, and ended up in your hand for a few $100. Then one day, the rules changed. Suddenly, that same phone costs more to bring in. A lot more. So what did the company do? They didn't stop making phones. They just stopped sending them from China. Instead, the screens now come from Vietnam. The chips get assembled in Mexico. The final product sometimes even gets a quick stop in India before heading to America. Same phone, different journey.
And here's the part almost nobody talks about. Trillions of dollars didn't just change price tags. They literally changed direction. Today, I'm going to show you how tariffs aren't just taxes on imports. They are one of the most powerful and least understood tools for redirecting global capital in the 21st century. This isn't theory. This is what's happening right now in 2026. Let's map it out.
Look around. Inflation cooled a bit, but prices for everyday goods still feel sticky. Factories are opening and closing in unexpected places. Investors are pouring money into countries that barely registered on the map 5 years ago. All of this traces back, in large part, to a simple policy: higher tariffs. In early 2025, the second Trump administration rolled out sweeping tariffs, some as high as 25%, 60%, even 100% on specific sectors. Even after court challenges and adjustments, the average effective tariff rate on U.S. imports jumped dramatically. The goal was straightforward: bring manufacturing back to America, reduce dependence on China, and protect American workers. But capital doesn't obey slogans, it follows incentives. And when you make one route expensive, money doesn't disappear. It finds a cheaper, faster, or safer path. That rerouting is exactly what we're seeing. Let's break it down simply. A tariff is a tax paid on goods crossing a border. The U.S. importer usually pays it, then passes as much as possible to the customer. When the tax is high enough, companies face a choice: absorb the cost and eat lower profits, raise prices and risk losing customers, change where the product is made. Most large companies choose option 3. They move final assembly or entire supply chains to countries with lower or zero tariffs on the U.S. market. This is called trade diversion and supply chain reconfiguration. Think of the global economy as a giant network of pipes. Tariffs don't block the pipes entirely. They just make some pipes extremely expensive. So capital starts flowing through different pipes, often creating new ones in the process. Here's a real-world example playing out right now. Electronics, laptops, phones, components. Before the latest tariff wave, a huge portion came directly from China. After tariffs hit hard, U.S. imports from China dropped significantly, by tens of billions of dollars in key categories. But total U.S. electronics imports didn't collapse. Instead, they surged from Vietnam, Mexico, India, and even Taiwan. Vietnam, for instance, has seen explosive growth in electronics exports to the U.S. Chinese companies themselves have moved assembly lines there to avoid the highest tariffs. Mexico has benefited from nearshoring, companies building or expanding plants just south of the border to serve the U.S. market with lower transport costs and better trade deals. The money didn't vanish. It simply changed destination. Now let's talk numbers, the kind that make economists quietly nervous. Every time a company spends $100 million to build a new factory in Vietnam instead of expanding in China, that's capital redirected. Now multiply that by hundreds of companies, and suddenly you're looking at hundreds of billions, even trillions over time, in shifted investment. Foreign direct investment announcements and actual capital flows are already starting to show this pattern. The signal is subtle, but it's there. Money is moving.
Tariffs meant to bring jobs home sometimes create hesitation. Companies don't want to build expensive factories only to face new tariffs 6 months later. So capital waits. It sits on the sidelines or looks for even more safe locations.
Step back, and the picture gets bigger. This isn't just about phones and shirts. It's about where the world builds its future industries. Capital is clustering into geopolitical blocks. Friend-shoring, nearshoring, and some onshoring back home. Countries like Vietnam, India, and Mexico are gaining new factories and jobs. But this fragmentation comes with costs.
Here's what lingers. Tariffs don't stop capital. They redirect it, sometimes toward America, sometimes toward Vietnam, sometimes into uncertainty and delay. The real question isn't whether tariffs move money. It's whether they're moving it in the direction we actually want and at what long-term cost. The map is changing, the money is moving, and the full consequences are still unfolding. If you want to understand where the global economy is really heading, you have to follow the capital, not just the headlines. Let me know in the comments, which country do you think benefits most? And if you're new here, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.